Daily Dose of Hope Day 201. So I've been coming on for 201 days, sometimes consecutively, sometimes not consecutively. And a Daily Dose of Hope is something that I was guided to do back in February. My guide said that I could come on to give a dose of hope, because the energies on our planet are going to start increasing. Well, they were increasing then, and they have been increasing quite a lot more in the past few months. And as you can tell by the what is it called, the amount of historical news that's been happening, in the past just few months. I mean, a lot of these things are like, when I was a lot of these things would be the news for like years back in the 90s and the 80s. Whereas now it's just like there's just one thing after another, after another, after another, and there's so many things happening that it's just like everything's just happening. and and what this is the increasing of the energies. What this is also what has been hidden will be revealed. That's this time. We are in the time when everything is being revealed, and it's a slow time. I mean, it's been happening and building up over. It's what it's been going on for quite a while, though. 10, 15, 20 years longer. But it's just now it's kind of reaching its peak, where things are going to start and as are being revealed. And so what happens when that happens, and that's just not on the micro level, sorry, the macro level, but it's also on the personal level, right? It's the micro and the macro level. So it's happening outside in the world that we see, and it's also happening within us too, within our own lives, within the people in our own lives and everything. So it's just wacky. That's the only word to describe it. And so they guided me to come on just to help everyone kind of stay the course. And if you're staying the course, you probably don't need to listen. But if you'd like to listen, that's cool too. So what a daily dose of hope is, it's just we talk a little bit in the beginning, and then we do a bit of a channeling, and then a pocket of peace, which is a guided meditation. And let's see, what did I want to talk about? I just had the idea and now I lost it. I think one of the things I wanted to talk about was, it feels like now it's kind of like a tidying up of loose ends. That's the feeling I have, at least in my world. Like everything seems to be, it's kind of like a tying up of loose ends, kind of getting ready for a big journey. Or a move or something. Before you move, you have to kind of tie up all the loose ends. And I feel like energetically, that's what's happening recently, and a lot of different things that are happening around me. And in addition to that, I feel that there's a big uptick in synchronicities as well. Like they're just insane, the amount of synchronicities that are happening. So that's always a good sign. Yes. So, the other thing I wanted to talk about too is that when I was growing up, so I grew up in the 80s, and when I was growing up, my big thing was, it's just like, there's nothing happening, nothing's happening, And then in the 90s and a little approaching 2000, like something kind of happened, but then nothing happened, and just like nothing's happening. And now it's just like, everything is happening. It's the complete opposite. So, and at that time I had always wished, like, I wish more things would happen. And now I see when more things happen, it can get pretty nuts. Sometimes you wish nothing's happening. So you always wish, right, the grass is always greener. But this is the time that we're in, and it's a good time. It's a good time for all of us. We're just learning how to deal with a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. We're being pushed to the limits, I guess, into a lot of things. I know I am pushed to the limits of emotion, pushed to the limits of pretty much everything you can imagine. But yeah, TTT Tracy, you say we are tying down here in Florida another hurricane. Another hurricane. My goodness, we'll have to do the pocket of peace for that one today. So I'm going to go into a channeling now, and we're going to see who comes through. And do they have anything to, what's the message for today, September 24th, 2024? Is that right? Yes, Tuesday here in Japan, 8:39 at night. It's getting a bit cooler at night finally. So here we go. Greetings. We are that one that you know of as Esmeralda, and we are a mermaid, or what you call a mermaid. We don't call ourselves a mermaid. Now, there are many different ways of looking at what we are and who we are and how we fit into your society and to our society. We have told the story of our planet many times, of how on Alpha Centauri there was a war between the land dwellers and the ocean dwellers, which we are. And we were at a long, long, long war, but we are at peace now. And it is a long story, but there is the story of the medicine that was on our planet, the story of the medicine, which is the story of this being's star uh, family. And that is the story of Alpha. And Alpha was one of the land dwellers. And on our planet, there was a medicine that was going around with the land dwellers. And what happened was anyone who took the medicine was washed away in a giant wave that came across our planet. And this story is a bit of a parable for your planet as well, as energetically a lot of the similar stories are playing out on your planet. And what we would say about this, though, is that this wave, up until this point, we have talked to this being and we've told him that this wave was the images that he was given was that it was an actual ocean wave. But what we would like to inform him now of is that it was an energetic wave. There was an energetic wave that washed over our planet. And what this energetic wave did was upgraded the frequencies of our planet. It upgraded the frequencies of the planet, but what happened was with the medicine kept those who took the medicine in the lower parts of the frequency, so they couldn't be a part of the upgrade, and so they were washed away. And that is what happened on our planet. Now, on the surface, you might see this as a tragic story, but it is not a tragic story, because just as you are souls, we are also souls, and we do not exist as bodies forever. We come into these bodies and we have lives just like you, and then we go back and we come back. And so it is just a bit of more experience. And that is the experience that this being's star family had. And his star family, Alpha was lost his whole family. Alpha lost his wife and his two children, and he was completely and utterly alone. And he wandered throughout our planet looking for survivors. And he found survivors. And he found peace as well. He found peace with the mermaids as well. And so this is our story for today. And we would say that this is not necessarily what is going on at the moment on your planet at this moment. But what we would say is that it is a parable for what is happening on your planet. There are many things that are happening on your planet, as you can tell. The energy, the energetics are raising, and the frequency is rising. And so as it rises, many things will start to be revealed, many things that might on the surface seem shocking to all of you. But what we would like you to remember is that you have come down here for this time. You were made for these times. These times are your times. You have the energy, you have the power to help to make these times more gentler times. The energy, everything has to happen, but with you here, you are helping to guide this birthing process so that it is a seamless process, so that it is filled with love, so that it is filled with peace. And that is one of the reasons that you're here. You're holding down this higher energy on this beautiful planet. We are that one that you know of as Esmeralda. Nice. Yeah, the waves. I think there's one other thing I wanted to talk about is that There's a place called Ephrata Cloister in Ephrata, Pennsylvania, and it's a cloister from the 1700s. And there's a man named Conrad Beisel. He came over from Germany, like most people who lived in Pennsylvania came over. Um, but yeah, so he came over to um, America around the 1730, 1720s, 1730s, around that time, Bach's time, right? And well, Bach was a little later, but he came to America around that time, and he was searching for religious freedom, as a lot of people were searching for, which is interesting. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. There's a lot going on there, but he came over and he joined some different religions, and then he ended up starting his own cloister and his own religion, and that was the Ephrata Cloister, and it's still there. You can go visit, and I went to visit it 2 or 3 years ago, and because I was clearing the energy there, and that was my first energy clearing experience, where I actually went to the place. I discovered, I was just looking online, and I found the place, and the website, like just the images from the website were just, I could sense like, oh, there's something there that needs to be cleared. And and through discovering it, there's a lot of interesting stuff there. Most of the monks composed music, which was very cool, and they had their own printing press at the time. And um, so as a composer, it was really interesting too. But they believed that the end times were coming. It was like the end of the world is coming, and they were preparing for it. And so they're very ascetic. And so I always think, so I'm very interested in these ideas of like Tartaria, and these ideas of different civilizations that might have existed that don't exist anymore. And there's so many wonderful content creators out there that are making these amazing videos on that. And they're just, yeah, there's so many of them, and I love all of their content. It's just amazing. And all their research. But so when I was watching a lot of what the research is saying now is that there were a few of these, what are they called? Well, ending of civilizations and beginning of new civilizations. And there were a few of them. And I often wonder, so like in the 1700s, they believed that was the second coming. And so maybe there was a second coming in the 1700s, and maybe that actually happened. And that's another one of those theories that we're kind of like in, if you follow like the biblical stuff, which I don't, but that we're in, you know, well, you can just research all this stuff, that we're in what's called the I think it's called the little period or the short period, where that stuff has already happened, and you take it or leave it. I mean, I've always preferred to think about like the second coming as us being the seeds that were planted by all of these amazing, amazing people, like, for example, Yeshua or Buddha and all those people. And they planted the seeds of some amazing ideas about how to live in this world, and that we are now like blossoming into, like a huge society that's understanding these ideas. And so not from a religious standpoint, but more from a philosophical standpoint of like that we are all the second coming. We're bringing heaven down on earth. So, but yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting, because it seems like, I mean, they were very, very serious, especially at that time, not just the Ephrata Cloister, but there's so many different people they were preparing for the second. It was coming. And then something happened, and then you don't hear about anything. But then there's all these abandoned buildings all over the place. And the civilization was kind of, well, yeah, yeah, there's a lot to that. I mean, when I went to the Ephrata Cloister too, and I found this building that was there. It was supposedly the base of a building, but there were no signs there to explain what it was. Everywhere else, there's like, this was this building, and this building, and this building, and this was just like, yeah, this is just some abandoned foundation of a building, and we're not going to say anything about it. But what I noticed, at the bottom of the building, there were these arches, like, that was buried. And it was funny like, how could a building be buried? If all these other buildings are not buried, why is this building buried? What happened? And that's the whole kind of mud flood idea. Like, what could have happened to have, you know, this building to be buried so much that the windows were like pretty much underground, and they're arched windows, So anyway, just interesting stuff. So there's probably a lot more to the story that I haven't gotten yet from Ephrata. There is a lot more to the story that I don't want to talk about on public stuff here. Maybe I don't even know if I want to write about it. For now, I'm just keeping it. um, but yeah, anyway, right. Let's see. TTT Tracy says many land dwellers in the U.S. took the medicine. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with everything. I'm hoping that that's like. I'm hoping that it's hopefully a different parable, but who knows? I don't know. I don't know what the situation will be. We'll see. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'd like to go into a pocket of peace, and so this pocket of peace is for the crazy weather around to kind of tame the crazy weather around the world, to send some love into the crazy weather, so that everyone who's experiencing all the crazy weather is okay, safe, protected, and also for let's do also for I wanted again for all the people that are suffering right now that are yeah there's all the people that are suffering physically, mentally, emotionally. There's just so much stuff that's going on now, and it's really hard it's hard to kind of deal with a lot of stuff. I mean, especially now with like physical stuff and emotional stuff, and it's just nuts. And so that's what this is about, that, and for to help out with people suffering with the weather as well. So a pocket of peace is a pocket of peace just to send love out into the world, to change the story a bit into a love story. So I'd like to I'd like you guys, if you're so willing, if you'd like to, you don't have to, but if you'd like to participate in this pocket of peace, or peas, as Michael says, right? Pocket of peas. I'd like you to take a few deep breaths, and take a few deep breaths. I'm going to close my eyes, and I'd like you to imagine that you are in the most relaxing place that you can imagine, wherever it is. And just feel yourself in that space. If it's outside, feel the air. Listen for maybe the birds or the wind. If you're inside, just, feel the cushion that you're sitting on, the carpet beneath your feet. Just be there. Yeah, nice. Yeah, just take a few relaxing breaths at your own speed. And then I'd like you to imagine the mist of unconditional love comes in and just surrounds you like a gentle blanket, and it makes you feel so warm and comforted and safe. Good. And then I'd like you to feel this unconditional love. This unconditional love is yours. It's your birthright. It was given to you before you were born, and it'll be with you throughout all of eternity. And in this love, you realize that there's nothing to worry about, and there's nothing to regret. You're home, and you've always been home. And there's nothing to worry about, there's nothing to regret. And all the sadness and all the anger and all the fear is gone. It's gone. Just replaced with this feeling of being more home than you've ever felt in your life. It's this feeling of unconditional love. You are loved and you are loving. And this energy starts to it lights up the candle of your heart. And then it starts turning into a bonfire. And it's nice and warm, and it warms you up. Your whole body's warm now, and Now that love, it just wants to extend. It wants to get out, it wants to find all the nooks and crannies throughout the whole world and give love everywhere. So now it's expanding into your room, into the space that you're in, and then outside into your town, into your city, into your county. Oh, now it's covering everything, all the highways, all the byways, all the buildings, all the apartment buildings, all the houses. It's all love now. All the parks, all the subways, they're filled with love now. And look at all the people, too. The people are all love now. Look at them. You can sense the love. Look at them. They're all pure love now. Everything is made of love now. Oh, and look at the people's eyes. They look so lovely now. They look like they're at home, and they just look like they just woke up from a deep, deep sleep, and they're just really rested and relaxed and refreshed. Like, yeah, I got this thing. I can do this thing. I know how to do this thing. I was born for this. I was born for these times. I'm here for this time. And I'm not going to let these times knock me off of my road of love, my board of love. No, I'm standing tall. I'm standing tall in this love. And all those stories of sadness, those stories of anger, those stories of fear, they've got no power over me. Look at this. I'm love. I'm pure love. So all I do is I let my love just shine out into all those stories. And those stories are flipped. The script is flipped into a story of love. Look at that. And then we're going down throughout all of the deep, dark tunnels and all of the hidden places, and we're lighting them up. We're just spotlighting it all up. It's all love now, and all the shadows are gone. The shadows are gone, replaced with love. And look at all these people just waking up and saying, where was I? What was I doing? Where am I? We say, you are in love now. That's where you are. Good now. And this love is just shot through the whole mass consciousness, because love travels at the speed of love, which is faster than the speed of light. It's the fastest thing in this universe. Love is the fastest thing in this universe. And we've just covered this whole planet and this whole universe with love. All the beings passing by above this planet are saying, what the hell are they doing down here? And we're saying, we're just having a pocket of peace. Don't mind us. And look at that. It's just all of those crazy weather patterns are coming in, but the people are all safe because they're all in love, and they just see it pass by. Look at that. A bit of rain, a bit of wind, but I'm fine, I'm protected, I'm loved. And all those people who are suffering in sadness, in anger, in fear, they're all loved now, and they're all healed. Look at that, they're all healed. They're just looking down and saying, what just happened? I don't know, but I'm healed. I'm healed. I'm healed. I'm safe now. I'm no longer sad. That sadness doesn't control me. No, 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 no. I'm love, and you're love, and we're all love. Look at us. All right. Whew. Woohoo. So thanks, guys, for joining in. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Gimel. Keone. Sorry. Thanks, Keone, and TTT Tracy, and everyone else for joining in. I hope you're hopeful, and I will hopefully see you all tomorrow if all goes well. So ciao for now.